Hayabusa time! And I gotta fix up the old dungeon here. So I recently had a new roof put on and a couple of light bulbs went out here. So it's been a little bit darker than usual in here. Oh, that's better. I got one back in the corner there. I hate it. I forgot which bulb was good there for a second. Now it's figuring out how to get back there. Oh, that looks very suspicious. Get electrocuted? It's been nice knowing you guys. Ah, there we go. A little bit brighter in here. We are back in the garage. Part 2 of the Hayabusa saga. We're going to hopefully, again, like I said in the last video, hopefully we get it all done. I don't think it's too much to ask to get it done tonight, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be doing the swing arm extensions, so I will be installing those. I've already cut the old chain off and foolishly pulled it out of the front sprocket there. Oh well, it'll be all right. And I gotta put the swing arm extensions on and then install the new chain. And I'm gonna get everything set up, and then I'll show you guys a couple tips and tricks for installing a nice Rivet style chain. You ever spend 20 minutes on something only to realize it probably would have been easier just to cut the wire? Garbage. Hey kids, teachable moment here. So if you're going to be doing something like swing arm extensions or anything aftermarket, you owe it to yourself to get a big tub of this anti-seize. Now you can use this stuff, this is the silver stuff, or copper, or any type of anti-seize. I mean, there are some better than others and some better suited to jobs, but get some type of anti-seize. I don't care what it is. Get it on the threads of these bolts. Now these are the bolts that hold this into the swing arm here. So they go into the swing arm here, and you got this little plate here. It sits something like that, or something like this. Not exactly sure how, but get yourself some anti-seize for these bolts, because this is steel. This is steel, and it's going into a nice piece of aluminum here. And what happens over time is this steel and this aluminum become one with each other. And I only found that out when I went to adjust the chain on this particular bike here. And again, this is a steel bolt that sits inside this aluminum bracket here, and it just stopped turning and I couldn't get it out. It was stuck. So finding this was a real treat. Took the owner of this bike quite some time to actually track one down, because of course, as with all aftermarket parts, the company closed up shop, went out of business, and good luck finding replacement parts. So luckily somebody was selling parts online and we were able to track down another set of these, but that's not always going to be the case, guys. So if you do an extension kit like this, or you put something aftermarket on where you've got an aluminum piece and they just gave you some crude metal hardware, you know, this stuff isn't coated. Like the factory stuff is coated, and it doesn't get stuck. But yeah, some of this aftermarket stuff, a little anti-seize goes a long way. So gonna end up just anti-seizing that stuff together, get the swing arm extensions on, and then we have to extend the brake line. Hopefully, I'm being hopeful, hopefully I don't have to extend the wheel speed sensor, but we'll have to wait and see. But I will definitely have to extend the brake line because this is gonna stick out quite a bit further. So, I'm gonna keep installing this kit. Here's to hoping I'm lucky. What? Ah. Perfect. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Welcome back again. Another teachable moment. We're going to be cutting this chain to length. I've got it where the owner wants it. I just gave him a call and said, hey, do you like it here? And he was like, yeah, it looks good there. So this is where I'm going to cut it. Now, I always cut my chains, or at least start cutting them. If I can't get them cut, I will take it off, but at least I start cutting them on the bike. Number one reason, you probably already guessed it. If I do it this way, it's fail-proof. You know, if I've had instances where I've taken them off the bike and I cut the chain, put it back on the bike, and it's too short. You don't want a chain that's too short. So this is the easiest way for me to do it. Like I said, even if I just take and I put the tool on there, at least it's on there in the position where I want to cut it. But I don't like to try and remember where to cut the chain. So the quickest way to cut a chain is to just get out the cutoff wheel and start grinding. That's really is the quickest way to do this. But in this kit I have here, it actually has a chain cutting pin. So this will just push that pin through to the other side and works pretty good. So I'm going to use it. Basically all this is doing is it's taking that pin in there and it's pushing. There's going to be a pin that goes through the links on the chain. And it's just going to push it through to the other side. And this method works pretty good as long as it's only pushing the pin. If you have this tool cocked sideways and you start pushing that pin out sideways, you can actually break this tool. Ask me how I know. So it is difficult to crank on this initially, but it shouldn't be so hard that you're really muscling this thing out. It should be a little bit of resistance, and then you should start to feel it pushing that pin through. And now we're all the way through to the end. Boom. If you just take your time with this and make sure you're pushing straight on, then you won't run into any problems and your tool should last a long time. But yeah, there's the pin there that I was talking about. This just sits inside these links. And all you're doing is just pushing this pin through these links and through these center links here. Because the next thing we're going to be doing is actually pressing the chain together. And I'm going to do it a different way than I've done it in the past, actually. And don't know why I've never done it this way, but I'm going to actually put the link through this way, and then I'm going to crimp the rivet sides on the back side. I think it's going to give it a cleaner look. And I don't know why I've never done it. I mean, it's not like it's difficult to do. It just, I've never done it that way before because I've always, it's easier, I guess, to do it where you put this through this way here. Now, what am I talking about? I'm rambling, right? So when you get these chains here, you get what's called your master link here. And it matches the other one, so it's a black link there. And it comes with a little bit of grease that goes on the O-rings here. Comes with these O-rings, and then you got the other side of the link here. So that's one link there. And typically when you do this, like I was saying, you typically put it through this side here and have those links sticking out. You put this side of the master link on there, and then you sandwich those together, and then you crush these ends over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it through this way, and then that way it gives it more of a seamless look, because then you won't have ugly links sticking out, because it's just going to be these hollow ends sticking out if I do it the other way. So these will actually be on the back side of this, and just give it a cleaner look. You want to make sure this stuff is clean when you're doing this. There's no filth in there, because really this rubber seal is actually supposed to seal this up tight and keep it kind of waterproof and dirt resistant. So you want to get all the dirt you can possibly get out of there. I know I say that with a dirty rag, so I'll get a cleaner one and I'll wipe all that stuff out. Now I'm just going to take, this is the fancy grease and the O-rings. So take your O-rings and put them somewhere where you won't lose them. These things tend to disappear all over the shop if you don't put them in a set spot. Learn from my mistakes. So you just take this link here and you grease it up a little bit. You can use your fingers, whatever. It can be messy, it's whatever. It's kind of the last time technically these insides of these are going to be greased, so the messier the better, I guess. So get some on there, put that rubber seal on there, and then put more grease around there. And then just pop that in there. Like I said, we're doing this a different way. We're going to slop that in there. Then we're going to take the other side, grease it up good. They give you this packet of grease. You should be out of it by the time you're done doing this job. No, you shouldn't have extra. You can be messy, it's alright. Because when you press these together, you want these to fit just so. And you don't want, what happens is if you try and just squish this together with a pair of pliers or a press or something like that, it can push these pins out on the backside. And if it does that, then it messes up the link and you can develop a kink that way. So this is actually something you want to take your time on and do it right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have it set up for the rivet side. And I've never done it this way, so I am going to take my time a little bit more than I normally would. I'm starting to realize why I've never done it like this before. It's going to be a cleaner look, yes, but it is definitely a pain in the butt to do it this way. Alright, so I've got that on there, I think. I'm not going to do anything yet. I'm going to check, double check, triple check, and make sure that I have that set up correctly. And that my O-rings are sitting in there like they should be. And just like when you're pressing that out, it shouldn't be difficult to get these to go in. Should sandwich in pretty easily. And when you look on the back side, it shouldn't be pushing out anything. It should be smushing it all together, which so far so good. That might need just a little bit more. See, and the other thing I'm noticing, and I'm glad I did this, is because if you look, freaking destroyed that black a little bit there. So that's nice that we put that on the back side. You'll never see it. You'll only see smooth sailing on the front side here. And that link isn't going anywhere. I already did the other side there. So you can see it just exit out just enough so that the ends are folded over and you are ready to go. So now you'll know you did a good job when you lift the chain up and it doesn't kink on your link there. So if I can move these links and it doesn't stay in place, you know, it falls freely like the other ones, you know you did a good job there. So there it is there. Spin this chain, and then we'll spin it back, and it should follow all the other links just like that. It doesn't kink up at all. So really, when you're done with this, it should look just like all the other ones. Shouldn't have any kinking in it, and it should just fall just like the other links on the chain there. So when you spin it, you don't even know which one is the one we just replaced. Well guys, the clock was not on my side tonight. I was moving along pretty good. Then an old buddy of mine came and picked up some stuff. I did some work for him, and I got to just talking with him, and you know, I lost time. Actually, we walked outside and it was dark. And then I looked at the clock and realized that, ooh, we talked for a while. And so just kind of, you know, I'm going to call it an end to this video here, because anything I go into from this point on is going to be about the same process there. And I think I have enough time talking about putting this rivet style chain on that this video is already going to be pretty long-winded. So we're going to make a part 3, and I'm not even going to make any promises or hopes. I'm just going to make a part 3 to this one, and maybe we'll get it done in the next video. But chain is on, swing arm extension kit is on. I have it adjusted to right about where this was on. This was on his old, he had another Hayabusa, and this kit was off of that one, and I have it about where his old one was set up, maybe a little bit further back. So, you know, he should be quite pleased with the placement of where this is at. And the other thing I need anyway, there's just more stuff I need, so let me show you. Okay, let me grab my flashlight here. We can look on this side here. So I still have to do the brake line because that is way too short. That comes out here. So that comes out to about there, which is not long enough at all. So it looks like it's going to need that about a couple more inches there to actually fit correctly. And the other problem we're running into is this guy right here. I might have to get an extension on my ABS sensor. So I might have to extend the ABS sensor plug because it's pretty tight right now. And maybe there's a little bit I can wiggle out of there, but it's looking like I'm probably going to have to get the extension piece so that doesn't end up breaking or pulling the wires out. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Now I don't think that extension piece is really going to hold anything else up. I think I can still lower the bike, put all the triple tree stuff on, take the gas tank off, put that brake line extension on. I don't think the extension piece is going to mess with any of that. I think I can still ride the bike and the ABS will function just fine. It's just I don't want that as tight as it is, and I'd like to secure it to the brake line like it was from the factory, and I can't do that right now with how tight that is. So gonna be ordering that up. It's probably not going to be here by the time I get this all done, so it'll have to be something I put on a little later. But we are also still waiting for that exhaust system to come in, so it's not a huge deal at this point. I still have a ton of work to do to this, and that's what we're going to do in that next upload. But in this one here, guys, we are done. That's what we did tonight. We installed the chain, and I'm super excited and thrilled with the way it turned out. I think it looks awesome that way. And hopefully you guys learned something in it. But as always, guys, thank you for watching the videos, and we'll see you in the next upload.